everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Ask Amy. Amy Davis here, joined by Andrea Slaydon.
Hi.
Hey, so this week we want to talk to you guys about ways to save on holiday shopping. We know that Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, those are all over. That means holiday shopping season is officially here, and we know that things are more expensive this year.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I don't know if you've started your shopping, but I mean, we keep hearing prices on everything are up this year over last. And so we wanted to give you just some new ideas, places you can shop, ways you can shop that might save you some money so you can buy all the things you want to buy, your family and your loved ones, and maybe yourself too. So normally in times like this, just doing consumer stories, we've learned that the stores and the businesses that do well when the economy is down are off-price retailers like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Do you go to those places very often?
Yes, that's basically only where I shop. So.
I mean, I love all of those places, but they sort of buy excess inventory, overstock. They might buy things that designers make too much of, and so they're able to sell it at a discount. Those are old school. They've been around forever. We all know about those places, but sort of the newer, maybe in the last 5 years, places that have been cropping up a lot are called liquidation sellers. And on a recent story we did, you went into one of the newer liquidation stores. What was the name of it?
It was called Dirt Cheap.
Dirt Cheap. There are 2 locations in our area, I believe. And so tell us, what does that look like? And does it look like the inside of a TJ Maxx, Ross? Or
Definitely not. So we wanted to show you Dirt Cheap, just to show you also in general what all liquidation stores, most of them look like. So it's kind of like the inside look here is what you can expect whenever you go to one. So they're loosely organized. I mean, you definitely have to go with the idea that you're hunting for a treasure, right? I mean, there's organization to a point, but there's great deals. I mean, I was really surprised at how cheap everything was.
Yeah.
And I recognized a lot of the name brands. Whenever I was there, they had shoes from like Nordstrom Rack. Of course, they had Target. They don't say that's where they get all their items.
But you recognize some labels that are still on there, or like clearance tags I saw on some places that we went. And it's like, oh, they're not really supposed to tell you where they got it from.
Yeah.
So you went, we did a story together on that one. Let's take a look so you can see sort of what they look like inside these stores and some of their policies, like how they operate. Take a look.
From apparel to appliances, toys to electronics, right now Dirt Cheap in Pasadena is packed with merchandise.
It stems back from the pandemic. The big box stores were bloated with inventory, so they need somewhere for that inventory to go. We are a return retailer. We purchase products from big box retailers. We purchase their returns, excess inventory, overstock, and liquidations.
One of the hottest items at Dirt Cheap, clothing.
All of this baby clothing is $2 each, and most of these compare up to around $7 to $10 retail price. This is a piece of clothing that we would get from one of our big box retailers, and the price is normally $35. You would get this 50% off at Dirt Cheap.
We found name brand shoes like Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein for $30 a pair. And for the home, sheet sets starting at $9 and aisles packed with blankets, pillows, and bedding.
So you see that this is originally $99 at your big box retailer. Dirt Cheap price is going to be around $50 as this is 40% off.
There are leaf blowers and vacuums, along with anything you might need for a home renovation project.
And as you can see, there's anything from fans, faucets, stuff like that.
The first rule for shopping liquidation stores, shop often.
We get trucks multiple times a week. With our store being the way it is, you never know what's going to be in store.
Second, use Amazon or a barcode scanner app to check retail prices, and don't be afraid to ask for a price reduction. The third rule for shopping liquidation stores, open boxes and check everything.
Since you can't return items, you do want to make sure that they work before you leave the store with them. So this is our testing table. As you see, we'll just plug this in and make sure this one works.
And rule 4, know the different types of liquidation stores.
They have too much, they send it down our way.
We've shown you the scratch and dent and overstock appliances you'll find at Treasures for Less in North Houston. Here, we also found brand new bikes priced 40% off retail.
It's exactly like a treasure hunt. Yeah, you have to dig, but you get really good deals out of it.
So there you go. It doesn't look like a Ross or a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's. It's definitely more sort of just hanging things up, not like a garage sale, but almost like a resale kind of thrift shop. But everything's new. And so now we want to tell people why it's such a good idea to go to these liquidation stores. The supply chain issues that were giving us all headaches a year ago are now leading to excess inventory inside all of these places. Were you surprised by some of the things that you saw?
Right. Because initially I thought I was going to go in there and find only returns, that sort of thing, which is what is there too. But because, like you said, of the supply chain and all these bigger stores have too much stuff, they're selling their brand new merchandise. So now you're more likely to find the brand new things at these liquidation stores.
Right. So you know how whenever like the end of a season, as before Christmas even happens, you're already seeing Valentine's Day stuff out on store shelves. That's because these big retailers, they've already sold the shelf space. They already know what goes in those shelves before it gets there, months ahead of time. So if this ship was stuck out at a port somewhere with all of this merchandise that was supposed to be on the shelf, by the time it has now finally made its way to the store's on to the next season. So they're not taking these things to warehouse them. Instead, they're sending them straight to these liquidation stores who are buying the things for pennies on the dollar to then sell them to you, so you get them at a discount. So it really is a win for consumers if you go and find some of these things.
And if you follow them on social media, because often they don't even know what they're getting. They open the crate and then they put it out. So they'll post things on social media. I've noticed they're the ones that are on social media. A lot of these liquidation stores you might find in your neighborhood are not on social media. But the ones that are, they're like, oh, here's what we got today. And they'll post it all. So you'll know to get down there on that day. You kind of have to really follow the store to know what they're going to be getting in.
Right. If you can't be one of those first people in line. Because sort of the way that it works, and 5 years ago was when we did our first story with the place called Cafe Enterprises, and they're still there, but now they've opened 2 more stores. They have one in South Houston. They've opened 2 other locations. But basically, they go online. They sort of get involved in this industry where they say, hey, Target has a tractor trailer. People bid on how much they want to pay for that tractor trailer, and they might know, oh, it's home goods, but they don't know specifically what that means. Is it bedding? Is it air fryers? Is it, a little bit of everything that you might find in the home goods section of a Target or a JCPenney? And then they open the trailer and they're like, oh, wow, look, we got all this stuff. And so that's why they never really know. And some of them, like Treasures for Less, that's over by 1960 and 45, will post pictures, put them on their Facebook page so people who follow them can see and can go down and get some of those deals. They had also at Treasures for Less, they had recently furniture from like Macy's furniture departments, and like mattresses and headboards and footboards and dressers and nightstands, which was something new that they hadn't had before that they were pretty excited about.
Yeah. And then in that story, you saw that you could test at the tester table. That specific store has that. Some of them don't.
Right.
So don't be afraid. They tell you, don't be afraid to open boxes and look in there. You don't have to hide and do that.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask an employee, like, hey, can I check this? I want to check it out. Treasures for Less, I don't remember seeing a testing table at all, but I know that if you ask somebody, hey, I want to check this, because these are not like traditional stores. They do not have return policies. Most of the things are sold as is. So you want to make sure it works before you get it out the door. And quickly, I wanted to talk about, we showed the appliances inside Treasures for Less. So in a way, it is like a scratch and dent store. They're getting them again from maybe returns from another place where a customer ordered it and then they didn't want it, or it had a slight defect, like maybe a scratch on the side of the refrigerator, but it's going to be tucked back inside, sort of in an alcove, and you wouldn't see the scratch anyway.
Right.
But what about the manufacturer's warranty? Say you get that refrigerator, you get it home, and then 6 months, a year from now, it stops cooling. What then? These are not like your traditional purchases. So if you were to call the manufacturer and say, oh, I bought it from this Treasures for Less, they might be like, oh, sorry, we only sell from our licensed retailers. So the owner of Treasures for Less says, I've been able to he said, if you're a savvy consumer, what if you purchased a new home and it came with a refrigerator that you knew was only 2 years old? I mean, you wouldn't have the proof of purchase. You wouldn't have the receipt from when you purchased it, but you could still get the company to honor that warranty, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, same thing. We can tell you can tell by the date on this how old these are and that they've never been used before. So with a little bit of legwork, you should be able to get the same type of warranty as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come back, we are talking, and you might not think there's anything new about this, but we are talking about dollar stores and about all of the great things and the things that you should be buying at dollar stores to save money if you're not already. How often do you go to the dollar store?
I avoid that store, actually.
You do? All right. Well, somebody who does it is Bill Spencer. When we come back, my colleague Bill Spencer is going to tell us about the things that you should be buying at the dollar store to save money. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this Ask Amy episode. Do you know this guy? It's Bill Spencer. I got him to come in here. So, longtime KPRC employee, first time Ask Amy guest to come on. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you about first. I know you do a lot of consumer stories. I'll do the consumer stories in the morning sometimes, and then you'll do the 10 o'clock stories.
Yep.
Tell me about dollar stores. So, you recently did a story on the things that you should always buy at dollar stores, must-have items.
Yeah. And I thought it was really going to help people because I've been shopping at dollar stores for years, and yet a lot of people, I don't know, just don't. They have some stigma, right. I don't want to go into a dollar store. That stuff's all junk and cheap, and it's not. I know from years of shopping at these places that they have really good products. Some you have to look, right? At any other store, you gotta test the waters. You gotta look at the stuff. You just don't buy anything. They have some great deals and some not so great deals.
Yeah.
So
and we know. In doing this, I was going to say. Some of you know. You may be like, oh wow, you're breaking new ground, dollar stores. But there are a ton of people that have never stepped foot into one. Exactly like you said, they have sort of the stigma, or they think like, oh, well, I don't need to go to a dollar store. But right now, with everything costing more, you might want to go to the dollar store. Dollar Tree raised prices within the last 6 months, I believe, maybe a year, to $1.25 because of inflation.
Yeah. So
it goes. But it's still a lot less expensive sometimes than if you go someplace else, a regular traditional retailer, and pay $2 or $3. So what did you find are some of the must-have items?
Well, you're right. And so, we went in and we bought like 76 items. Nothing more than everything was $1.25, every single item. And the things that I thought were the best deals were, number one, party supplies.
Yeah.
For like birthday parties, anniversaries. So they had all kinds of beautiful helium balloons.
Helium balloons, are so expensive if you get them at the grocery store or party supply stores. But yeah, you can get them for $1.25 blown up.
$1.25, and they're inflated, and they look just as good. And $1.25, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So that was a great one. And then all of the different, paper decorations that you get for like a birthday party, or you get it for Thanksgiving table, or you get it for your Christmas table.
Some of the single-use items that instead of picking it up at Walmart or someplace else, you can get a better price at a dollar store.
Absolutely. These beautiful, for example, little paper turkeys that you might go in and you might spend $5 on a couple of these things at the at a regular store, but here it was $1.25 each. We're talking about beautiful Christmas wreaths, okay? You know how much you spend on those. When you go to Target or to Walmart or some of these other stores, you're going to pay, probably at least $10, maybe $20. $1.25, and they had some nice wreaths. They had all kinds of different decorative candles. And how expensive those can be, even if you go to a discount place. Yeah. And then all the placards, the little signs that you get for Christmas. A picture of Santa Claus or whatever, reindeer.
Just cute little decor.
Yeah, little hanging items to decorate your house for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay, so, and if you're a DIY person, I don't know. I know you said that you've been shopping at dollar stores forever, but I don't know if you've found some of these Facebook groups, closed groups. I'm a member of Dollar Tree Farmhouse DIY. So they take things that you could buy at a dollar store and they put them together like in great little mantle displays or all kinds of things. They may display it just as it's sold in Dollar Tree, but usually they gussy it up, fancy it up because they're crafters and sort of fix it up really cute. So there are lots of places like that on Facebook you should look if you are a DIYer or you like to sort of make things, craft things you can get ideas from. So you guys mostly focused on Dollar Tree. You had a woman in your story who said that she finds a lot of good cleaning products.
Yeah. So you got the cleaning products, and of course everybody's got their own favorite product that they go to. But I mean, the dollar stores have brand names. I mean, they're there. You got to look for them, but they're there. And for example, like I'm thinking about. Actually, I'm thinking about school supplies. You know, I know that you can get really cheap school supplies there, but I wasn't sure you could get the brand names. They had them. They had Elmer's glue. They had, you know, Crayola crayons. Exactly right. They had, you know, they had all name brands. They had Sharpie, right?
Yeah.
For $1.25. And I thought the school supplies were an awesome buy at the dollar store because, you know, parents are buying those things all year round. It's not just, you know, right before school starts. You're buying them all year because the kids lose them.
Right. And I know that comparison shopping can be a real pain, and it can take more time out of your day, and the time that you have allocated for grocery shopping or whatever it is that you're doing. But you do have to check sometimes, because these things that you're buying all the time, like sponges or garbage bags or cleaning supplies, you really do have to check the ounces and how many bags are in there and compare it against, say, a Walmart. Because sometimes I've found things, I've been at Walmart and I'm like, oh, that sponge is only 99 cents, but at the dollar store it's $1.25. So, you know, check, like whenever you're at a regular store, just so that you make sure you know you're getting the best deal. Not everything is the best, but those things are sort of the tried and true. The balloons, the gift bags, the cards. The woman said in yours, I mean, you got to buy these greeting cards and, you know, to go with gifts. And you're like, well, I was only given a $20 gift card, and now I'm spending $4 on the greeting card to go with it.
Oh, and greeting cards. All right. So birthdays, Christmas, any kind of celebration cards. I couldn't believe the price on those, because at the Dollar Tree, they were Hallmark. They're all Hallmark, and they were two for $1.25. Two cards for $1.25. Whenever I go into, you know, to buy a card for a birthday card for my wife or a Valentine's Day card, it's always $7 or $8 for me.
Woo, you're getting those fancy ones that have music and the pages fly out.
Not really. I mean, but $7 or $8 for a card.
I mean, they can get very pricey.
As opposed to $1.25.
Right.
I mean, just that's crazy good.
Right. Exactly. You know? And you could stock up on them too. Like if you've got kids and, you know, they're always going to birthday parties. You know, you could buy several cards at one time, so you always have them on hand. Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you a little. Oh, one thing that I was going to say, though, you went into Dollar Tree because it's one of the largest dollar store chains.
Yeah.
Have you ever been into a 99-cent only store?
No.
Okay, it's been a while since I've been in one, but several years ago, we did several stories with 99-cent only stores because they have a lot of locations as well. They have a great Instagram page on 99-cent only, but I just had a funny story I wanted to tell. When we went into one over here, sort of like on Westheimer, sort of getting towards West Houston, like Royal Oaks area, one of the managers told us that Barbara Bush used to go into that store because
Incredible.
they used to and buy her readers from the 99-cent only store. She'd get them for 99 cents, and she said she wanted a pair in every single room of her house, and she didn't want to have to worry about, you know, going and buying some expensive $15, $20 readers. So she'd buy them from the dollar store.
Well, I still do buy my readers at the dollar store.
Oh, yeah?
So I got that in common with the Barbara Bush.
You're like,
I've been doing
so
that
you're
for
not
10
breaking
years.
new ground, right?
Yeah, I mean, $1.25 for a pair of readers.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
Why not?
No, that's great. And you probably do want to lay them around several places so you don't have to forget them.
Well, yeah, and I'm losing them all the time, and I'm breaking them, and, you know, it's nuts to go out and pay $20,
right?
You know, at like a drugstore, like a CVS or whatever, Walgreens, pay $18, when you can get them for $1.25. One more thing you got to know about is, I think was an outstanding deal, were some of the cooking utensils that you buy. Like, so my wife and I bought an avocado slicer, okay? And we paid $13 for it someplace,
It's
okay?
like that OXO.
$13, you know, for an avocado slicer. It does nothing, you know? It slices your avocado for you. There at the Dollar Tree, same exact one. It was $1.25. I almost killed myself when I saw that. And then there was a little garlic press. Okay, and I said, I wonder how much that is. $1.25 at the dollar store. We had paid $15.
Oh my gosh.
At a regular store for the same thing.
Wow. So kitchen supplies and utensils.
Yeah.
You also mentioned like glasses, like wine glasses. So say if you're having a party and, you know, you don't normally need 12, you know, to 20 wine glasses, but if you're having a small get together, you might want them, and you can usually get those for $1.25.
And again, and I was surprised at the quality. I thought, okay, well, yeah, they're going to have glasses probably, but they're probably junk, you know?
Yeah.
No, I went and I looked at the wine glasses, at the margarita glasses. just as good a quality as we have at home. Okay, but the glasses that we bought, I think we bought them separately, one at a time, and they were like, I don't know, something like $7-8 a glass.
Yeah, right.
There it was $1.25.